Good afternoon and welcome to the legendary sports group MIAA Conference Championship, where St. Peter and Paul is set to take on Archbishop Curley. This is a rematch of last year's conference game won by Archbishop Curley, but we're expecting another tussle today between both teams. I'm Chris Gunkel, and I'll be bringing you today's action alongside my partners, Coach Bob Shriver and Coach Don Zimmerman. Coach, who's a player to watch for St. Peter and Paul?
It's hard to keep your eye off number 32, J.J. Reardon. The Monmouth commit is just a junior and has a whopping 90 goals and 32 assists this year. He's something special.
Yeah, he sounds like it, Coach. And Coach Zim, how about for the Friars?
For Archbishop Curley, keep your eye on number 30, junior attackman Brandon MIAA, 3-year varsity player, leading scorer, 41 goals, 19 assists, puts more than half of his shots in the net. He's a finisher.
That he is. We're ready. We hope you are too. Come back to live action in just a moment.
It's a wrap, too.
This legendary sports group presentation of the 2025 MIAA Lacrosse Championships is presented by Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis, your Baltimore-Annapolis area Lexus dealer. SmartLink, keeping America connected, one site at a time. The Cahan Center for Pain Management. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Advanced Radiology, trusted by more doctors, preferred by more patients. Archbishop Spalding Athletics, one in Christ. The Atlas Restaurant Group, motivated to amaze. And Centers for Advanced Orthopedics, celebrating 100 years of orthopedic excellence.
And we're set for the St. Peter's and Paul starters, Coach, brought to us by Toyota. Who are some of the players we should look out for today?
Well, we talked at the outset about attackman number 32, J.J. Reardon, who has just an amazing season going with 122 points so far. But Coach Walter's son, Hank, has a 3-year starter. He's just a junior now. He's had over 200 saves every year he's been in the cage. So he's somebody to look at as well.
Yeah, Reardon's really putting up some big numbers, Coach. Look forward to seeing him play. And we're going to move quickly now to the Friars for Archbishop Curley. And Coach Zim, who should we look for today?
Well, again, we talked about Brandon MIAA. He's had a terrific season and a 3-year starter. But one thing that you'll notice about Chris Ogle's Friars team is that their middies play both ways. So you're going to see two-ways middies, a little throwback to the past. And also, they face off 3 different guys. Their number 1 face-off guy faces off for the first midfield. Number 2 face-off man faces off for the second midfield. So different style, but certainly effective.
And we're getting set here for live action. We're almost ready to go after a really extensive weather delay. This was the rematch from last year. Coach Zim, you did that game last year.
We did.
Any similarities between then till now?
Well, I've seen some film, and I think that one of the keys is that Curley has a little bit more depth than St. Peter and Paul, and that certainly could be a factor in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, as we see the road here to the finals. To your point, Coach, Curley with that opening round bye, they get to the semifinals and beat Gerstel easily. St. Peter's and Paul, same type of situation as they are on top of Concordia, 15-6.
I might throw in that fact that St. Peter and Paul all year has not had a full roster. In fact, they played 5 games this year with just 13 kids playing. This is the best they've been health-wise since the beginning of the season. So that may have an influence on this game as well.
And, Coach, you noted earlier St. Peter and Paul is a very young team as well. Not a lot of experience, so a big game for a lot of those freshmen, correct?
I would imagine, freshmen, you don't see many out there, and the ones that are out there, they certainly deserve to be out there. But it's a big game, and like at all levels, the first part of the game, expect the players to come out, especially with a shortened warm-up. They've only had 10 minutes to warm up. They've been sitting in a locker room for, well over an hour and a half. So, the first quarter we'll see how each team handled that situation.
And It's difficult, Coach, to win one MIA championship. We have a team here today in Archbishop Curley going for their 4th in a row.
For Pete, McDonough went for it last Tuesday, and Calvert Hall nipped that in the bud. But right now, the Friars are excited. They have a chance to do a 4-peat, which is very, very rare. But it's obtainable. Let's see what happens.
And we're getting ready for our opening face-off that's brought to us by Rice Law. And you have number 3 for Curley, and that's Gavin Albright. Facing golf against number 11, Grant Messick for St. Peter and Paul.
Albright's at a 62%. That's pretty darn good. He's got 17 goals and 7 assists. And he's also a terrific ground ball guy, one of the strengths of his face-off.
Well, we're set, and we're back to live action here. We had mentioned it before, a really extensive weather delay. That can be difficult, though, Coach, right, when you have to go to the locker room for almost 2 hours.
Right,
in one of the biggest games of your lives, and then to come back out and be prepared to play.
Well, you got to be able to make those adjustments, and I'm sure, different teams handle it in different ways. Some teams just let coaches let their guys relax, and others, try to keep them focused. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game, and we're excited to be here.
Yeah, opening offensive set for the Friars as it starts up top with Gavin Albright. He took the most recent faceoff, transitions it behind. Ball moves counterclockwise now for the Friars as they work to get inside. Back to Albright, pushes it down the right-hand alley. He takes a shot, misses the cage. Backed up nicely, though, by number 30, Brandon Mejia. Down to 39 seconds here on this first possession.
One of the great things about the MIAA is they play NCAA rules, so it's an 80-second shot clock on a change of possession. If a shot caroms off the goalkeeper or the pipe, then it's reset to 60.
Great save there by Walters. Errant pass, though, picked up momentarily, and almost back to Curley, but they're going to get bailed out with a push. And first possession now for St. Peter and Paul.
A little push there by number 26, Derek John. He's a junior. Good call by the official right there.
Possession right now for Zimmerman for the Sabres.
Curley's pressing out, it looks like, all the way almost to the midline, trying to force St. Peter and Paul to have to start their offense a little bit outside, gives their defense time to set up.
They're also shutting off.
Shot, great save there. Rebound quickly by the Friars. Nice save there by number 3, Cozy.
Coach, I noticed that Curley is shutting off J.J. Rarden, so that's a strategy that we may see tonight. Well, we are going to see it tonight, and, of course, with his offensive firepower, incredible numbers, 90 goals, 32 assists, 208 career points, and only a junior. So good strategy for the Friars.
Second midfield in for the Friars as Parker Gianelli moves the ball back behind. The ball gets reversed, looking for cutters on the inside. Is not found.
Beautiful
Intercepted
defense.
Nicely there by St. Peter's and Paul. They're going to be back on their offensive set as Zimmerman has it, gets to the inside, switches back to his left hand, shot and score quickly by Zimmerman. Sabres up 1-0, Coach.
Really nice transition there. Intercepted pass. Stick was in a good position. Pushed the field. Got the ball to Zimmerman, you'll see, and he saw the opening and he went for it. The good attackmen, they see that gap and they're going to take it, and he certainly did here. First off, it starts with the interception. Nice transition there. Zimmerman getting underneath, and a really well-placed shot high and away to put St. Peter and Paul on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Coach Shraj, you noted that Curley was pushing out heavily defensively. They may have paid the price for that as they were pushing out hard. They got beat to the inside. Easy conversion there for Zimmerman.
Yeah, sometimes you push out a little bit too much and you're giving somebody like Zimmerman just a tad too much space. Just get running and get by somebody pretty quickly.
Duval goes down the right-hand alley. That's been a common set for the Friars to start their offense. Checked from behind. Walters has it as he sets up the clear for the Sabres.
Well, Walters started the game with a good save. I really think, going back to last year's championship game, Curley just jumped on him really quickly. Walters struggled a little bit, but it has much to do with Curley's offense.
Jameer Demby receives it as they get across the midline for the Sabres now to start their offense. Zimmerman has it once again. He got the Sabres on the scoreboard first. Ball gets transition behind. Moves back up top to Demby.
Again, the Friars are in a man-to-man defense and appears to be trying to play some shutoff inside.
Mason Rowland, number 20, joining Demby on midfield. Cutter comes around the crease, gets by the defense. Fake high, go low. Sabres 2-0, Coach.
You know, that was a really nice scheme that St. Peter and Paul came up with. They picked for Rarden, who was being shut off. He comes around, not a real good angle on the slide, and Bale and Bounce could have slid more upfield. Rarden got his strength, and you know if he gets a good shot like that, he's going to put it in the goal. Really nice play.
You're right. They didn't play that two-man game well behind. Lack of communication leaves the door open for Rarden. And Coach Shrives, as you said in the opening, he certainly knows what to do when he gets it. Face-off won by the Sabres. They're on the run, a quick, fast break. They have numbers. Shot and a score by number 22, Andrew Steinhardt. And Curley, the favorite, is on their heels quickly in quarter one.
Boy, that's the make it, take it you'll see in the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, that is true, Coach.
All three attackmen for St. Peter and Paul have now scored in this game. It's a great start for them. Let's just say they've handled the weather delay, at least at the outset of this game, a little bit better than Archbishop Curley has. So we'll be back shortly. St. Peter and Paul 3, Curley nothing.
Fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
All right, we're back to live action at United Stadium on the campus of Towson University as the Sabres, I think fair to say the underdogs, have gotten off to a quick start here, on top by a score of 3-0. And with that, they had won the faceoff. They now have possession again if they score the first 3 goals.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better start for St. Peter and Paul. You know, you're sitting in the locker room, they come out, and next thing you know, they're up 3. They get the next face-off. Golden opportunity to extend the lead.
J.J. Raridan takes a shot. Misses a cage, but backed up nicely by Andrew Steinhardt, who had the last goal for the Sabres.
Well, this is a good opportunity, obviously, for J.J. Raridan to get the ball off that shot, and sure enough, he goes back and takes this.
Possession starts again behind. Sabres have been, I think it's fair to say, Coach, fairly deliberate on offense as Liam Dunball gets the ball checked out of his stick. Curley's going to get out of this easy.
They got a break coming back the other way.
You're right, Coach. They do have numbers. Quickly it gets transitioned over the side.
Nice recovery by the Sabres.
Yeah, secondary break didn't result much, Coach. The Friars are going to take some time here, get set.
You mentioned that the Sabres may want to slow the ball down. Again, their squad isn't as large as Archbishop Curley's, and I think that's going to be their game plan. Take the air out of the ball a little bit, work the clock on the possessions, and try to get that high-quality shot.
That is another errant pass by the Friars offense, who Maybe Coach Shrives, to your point, didn't handle the weather delay as well as they could. They have looked sloppy and unorganized here as we get started in the first quarter.
Number 8, the Sabres starting defenseman and most experienced defenseman, just a junior. He's being recruited by a number of Division I schools, and he is their most experienced guy. He's surrounded by 2 freshmen that are starting on the defensive end for St. Peter and Paul.
Yeah, just as I said, the Sabres had handled the delay well. They go off sides. Possession now back to the Friars as Gianelli has it up top as he moves it quickly over to Cooper Granados.
You know, in any game, but especially in a game like this, a championship game, you really want to try to limit the unforced turnovers. You know, you got to communicate. You got to make sure you got somebody back on sides. You hate to lose those possessions.
Gianelli does not go right this time, goes to his left. Boy, another errant pass, though, but it looks like MIAA is going to pick that up to maintain possession for the Friars. Offense looks out of sync, Coach Shrives, at this point. Back up top, it goes to Gianelli. Gianelli, another errant pass. Just as I said, the offense looks out of sync, as that's probably their 4th or 5th unforced error.
That was a really nice check by number 8, Porter Bishop. He's a junior. He waited. He didn't throw a lot of needless checks. But when the ball was about to be thrown, he threw that one well-timed poke check. Again, control the gloves of the offensive player. You control him.
Nice play there by Gianelli on the ride. He picks up the loose ball. He's feeling pressure, but he's going to get out of it easily. Opts to pull back out instead of pushing the offense. Crossfield pass, bouncer. Picked up nicely, though. So far, the Curley offense has started on that right-hand side. This time they start to the left as it gets moved behind to Joe Ryan. Ball now moving, I was going to say clockwise, but it has been back to it. Over to number 9 now for Aiden Palinkas. Palinkas, the left to right stutter, rolls back to his left, gets inside the defense. Had an alley, but opts to pull back out. As Xavier Duval now has possession for the Friars as we reach just under 30 seconds on this shot clock. Inside pass it goes. Nice handle there by Palinkas. 360 move, doesn't result in a goal, but backed up nicely by Ryan Kinney.
The Sabres have been quick to slide into some of these dodges by Curley, but they're not getting the same support behind it, it seems like. You know, they're getting the first slide, but there's no second slide that we've seen so far.
Kenny goes right to right, tries to make a conversion on the inside. He can't, but he does a nice job pushing Walters back as the Sabres now set up their clear.
Walters, the son of the coach, 3-year starter, 3-year captain. He's got a 59% save percentage, 24 all-conference. Good young player.
Grant Messick does a nice job as Demby gets to the inside. He's looking to shoot. He can't handle it. Boy, 2 errant ground balls ultimately picked up by the Friars, and that's a nice job there by Xavier Duval. Duval quickly upfield. Transition for Curley, doesn't have numbers, assuming they're going to pull back out and try to get this offense started, which has looked frenetic at times. Push from behind, looks like that might be a penalty, and it is, as another body goes down for the Sabres, and now a stick goes flying, Coach. Almost looked like what we saw during that weather delay with things flying around the stadium.
Well, we couldn't see anything when the rain was coming down. So.
Yeah, that is true. It looks like the referee's going to sort this out. Initially, looks like maybe a push from behind with possession, 30 seconds for Curley, but we'll see how we end up here.
Let's see what we can get.
30-second penalty it is, as Curley gets ready for the Ghost Beverage extra man opportunity. First extra man for both teams today, coming at the 3:01 mark here in the first quarter. Curley going to start here in basically a 3-3.
Reset the shot clock to 80, so plenty of time. No rush here, although it's only a 30-second penalty, so work for that quality shot. But if you don't get it, don't force it. maintain possession.
Cutter to the inside. Shot low by Mejia. Great save there by Walters. Walters has looked sharp so far. Maybe not so much in the clearing game, but has certainly seen the ball well as he scrambles to get up to midfield.
Very good out of the cage. Good athlete.
Nice job there. St. Peter's and Paul had a break there momentarily as Steinhardt looked to the inside. I think they make the right decision to pull back out, as we're now down to the 2:20 mark. And looks like we're going to have a timeout as St. Peter's and Paul is going to discuss this and come back to live action as the Sabres from Easton are on top 3-0. It's been a great start to this game, and we will be back here at United Stadium with live action in just a moment.
Locally grown, nationally known. We are Crabs Lacrosse. For over 3 decades, parents have chosen us to help their sons develop a path to becoming college lacrosse players. Crabs Lacrosse is more than a collection of teams. We are a family. At Crabs Lacrosse, we focus on being 3 things. Always about our players, deliberate in our development, and focused on a positive experience and positive outcomes. Join us at Crabs Lacrosse.
This legendary sports group presentation of the 2025 MIAA Lacrosse Championships is presented by Crabs Lacrosse, Baltimore Crabs, locally grown, nationally known. 5-Star, the official highlights provider of the MIAA Championships. Lacrosse Wear, the industry leader in custom uniforms since 2001. Lido Pizza, the preferred pizza of the MIAA Championships. Luminous Health, your comeback starts here. Rehab to Perform. Stay ready to perform with Rehab to Perform physical therapy. Don't be left on the sidelines. And the Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch. The Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. Personalized strategies for your long-term goals.
All right, we're back to live action here at United Stadium on the campus of Towson University as St. Peter and Paul have just killed a 30-second man down or a man up opportunity by Curley. They call possession. They run that same set coach drives that they scored earlier with Reardon, unsuccessful this time as he brings around to the left looking for help on the inside.
Look at Curley sending a double to him immediately.
Inside pass it goes.
Nice.
You're seeing Curley really apply some pressure. No call there as a Sabre hits the turf. Curley applying pressure, coach, probably trying to get the tempo more in their favor.
Nice look
Pass
upfield.
goes upfield. They have numbers momentarily. They go to the inside. Nice look. Cross crease. Ball hits the turf. Both teams battling for it right in front of the Sabres' goal. Pulled out nicely there by number 22. Matt Ramirez somehow inexplicably coached him. He gets the ground ball, gets it past Walters. Friars finally on the board.
Yeah, the junior, there's a big scrum in there. The junior, 19 goals, 2 assists, make it 20. He's a big man-up shooter and just does the little things that it takes to get a goal.
Well, as coaches, you always say, don't rake it, except in that opportunity. That's when you want to rake it.
And from the defensive perspective, you got to have somebody protecting the front of the goal. You know, one guy there, and all the Saints Sabre players were actually in that scrum. Somebody should have stayed back and might have been able to prevent that.
Cole Phillip, the long pole for St. Peter and Paul, takes this face-off against number 2, Xavier Duval. That strategy did not work as Duval pulls it out again. Curley crosses midfield as we're almost at the 1-minute mark after just getting on the scoreboard to get into their offense. Drive down the left-hand side. Pulled back out by Aiden Palinkas.
Curley has a chance for them to make it, take it. It'd be great for them to get one before the quarter ends. Let's see if they can get it done.
Gianelli down that right-hand side. I like this shot, the bounce shot. Nice save there by Walters. Sloppy clear. Possession might go back to Curley as it does. And Curley, coach, looks like that pressure is starting to wear on St. Peter and Paul already as they've been really sloppy this past 2 minutes.
I like what Curley did, and that's what you're supposed to do. When they got the ground ball, they didn't hold on to it. They moved it right away. You catch the defense maybe off guard, and you find somebody that's open. So for you young players watching tonight, if you get a ground ball, look to move it.
Wow, and move it. Cole Phillip did, number 14, the long pole, as he leads the clear and ultimately hits Noah Zimmerman, who, again, Coach, gets to the inside of that defense for an easy conversion.
Well, watch. Defender 31, little confused. Should he step up the field or does he get back and cover number 7? And he got caught in no man's land. Zimmerman makes a beautiful cut there for his second tally. So far, the Sabres' attack has accounted for all 4 of their goals.
Yeah, Coach, and that scenario you typically tell your defender don't move upfield as Gavin Albright picks up the face-off for the Friars. No one communicates to him as he hits the turf, but there's going to be a penalty. Easy save there by Walters. Looks like it's probably going to be another 30-man-up advantage for the Friars.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call push.
Yeah, interesting play there. He picks it up, Coach. No one communicates to him that there's pressure coming, and probably just a little bit too much there as he goes to check the stick, but then gets the body.
Now you wonder, are they going to go to the goal, Coach Zimmerman, or what do you think?
Well, I think they should hold the ball and know that they're going to get it back to start the second period. Now, the ball can't be in the air if they're going to hold it. It's got to be in the possession. Looks like they might try something here.
Yeah, as we get ready for this extra man sponsored by Ghost Beverage. To your point, Curley working around. Looks like they are going to try something. They do. Shot up top and conversion there by number 22, Matt Ramirez, as Coach points out, 1 second on the clock. Nice decision there. At first, I thought they were just going to hold it, Coach, but they were aggressive, and they're rewarded for that as Ramirez gets lost up top as the defense is too low. Bounce shot good as it gets past Walters.
Well, that's a great look. And, again, if you put those passes on the money, that really boosts the confidence of the man who's going to shoot the ball. If he knows he's got a good pass. It just gives him that confidence. So, again, little things make the difference here, and that assist was outstanding.
Messick for the Sabres going against Gavin Albright for the Friars, and that's the way this first quarter is going to end. As you can tell, like Curley has found some momentum. Now only trail 4-2, once trailing 3-0. Coach, how did they get back into this game?
Well, they're winning face-offs, so they just have to continue to do the things that they've been doing all year. Don't hit any panic buttons. Take it one play at a time. At the end of 48 minutes, add them up.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can start it with a splash. Hi. With a play date at a park. Or at a party with friends. Or at an epic water balloon fight.
Gotcha!
Buy a sporty Camry with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on a stylish new Corolla sedan or hatchback.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Luminous Health, we're making it easier to schedule care. Make your appointment online 24/7 from your phone, computer, or tablet. Just go to luminoushealth.org to book your same or next day well visits, sick visits, imaging, labs, and more. Simply select the type of care you need and enter your zip code. Then choose from available times and providers nearby. Schedule your appointment with MyChart or as a guest. You can even upload a referral. With online scheduling from Luminous Health, taking care of your health has never been easier.
What happens when a world-class luxury vehicle meets a luxurious first-class facility? You call it Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis. Right now, visit us in-store and choose from a great selection of new Lexus vehicles. Or build your own deal however you want and wherever you are at SheehyLexusOfAnnapolis.com. With an unmatched combination of selection, service, and purchasing flexibility, it's never been easier to find the perfect Lexus at Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis.
All right, we've settled in, and we're back here on the campus of Towson University as St. Peter's and Paul has a lead of 4-2 as we get ready for this face-off sponsored by Ocean City, Maryland. It's going to be Messick for the Sabres going against Gavin Albright for the Friars as teams now have switched sides. Ball pushed forward into the Friar zone. Ground ball picked up nicely there. Errant throw, though. Possession now back to the Sabres as Derek John, great pickup on the ground ball. Errant pass, though, rewards St. Peter and Paul.
I like what Ramirez did there. You know, he hustled on the ride, put enough pressure on that defenseman to make him feel uncomfortable, forced a turnover. Nice job.
Yeah, as we had mentioned, St. Peter and Paul came out hot. They had 4 goals, Coach, on 5 shots. I'll take that percentage. Although things started to tilt as we had more turnovers. The Sabres had 7, while Curley had 5 in that first quarter.
That was Steinhardt, excuse me, for St. Peter and Paul. Again, attackmen, you know, your job is to score goals, but also the great attackmen, they ride hard. Riding is an attitude.
Noah Zimmerman, the left-hander, tries to get the inside, cut off nicely there, but he receives the ball back again, moves it behind the cage. As we got a invert behind with Grant Messick. Messick pulling double duty as face-off man, midfielder. Errant pass, though, is going to reward, although it does not. Great job there by the Sabres to maintain possession.
That was a really nice job that time. And the reason that was not an over and back because Bishop did a good job of batting the ball back. Now, you can't pick it up and scoop it because now that's possession, and that would be an over and back. You got to bat it. And, again, Porter Bishop, really nice job handling that situation.
Boy, Fritz gets lucky there as he brings it all the way downfield. I thought it was going to get picked off. A lot of turnovers out here. Curley has been pushing the pace to try to create them, but maybe that fast pace is causing some for themselves. As the ball hits the turf once again, pushed over by David Fritz. Great save there by Cozy. Cozy with a quick outlet up to number 22, Matt Ramirez. Ramirez, no numbers for the Friars, assuming they're going to pull it back out and start the offense here. As we're just getting underway here in the second quarter, the Sabres of St. Peter's and Paul with a lead of 4-2.
Curley gets their offensive middies out on the field. Now both teams have a tendency to play midfield, two-way middies, which is actually kind of fun to watch. There's not an incredibly large amount of subbing from offense to defense, et cetera, but because of the two-way midi, it's old school lacrosse.
Xavier Duval, one of those guys that's pulling double duty. Errant shot to the left of the cage. Possession maintained by the Friars as we are down to 35 seconds on this shot clock. Inside roll, double teamed by Joe Ryan. Ryan tries to pass to the inside. Too much, too soon, as possession now is going to go back to the Sabres.
Real nice job by the St. Peter and Paul defense. They were working together, communicating, and they slid well. The timing was right. The angle was right. Forced that turnover.
But the Friars' offense, though, coaches, look just out of sync. Their opportunities have come primarily on transition or when the pace is more frenetic. But when it's settled, they have looked out of sync.
Well, I like what I see out of the Sabres defense. They look athletic. They look like they're all on the same page, obviously communicating, and they're throwing some very timely checks.
And another turnover here.
There's a lot of sloppy lacrosse going on, and some of that can be attributed to, sticks are a little wet. We had a heck of a lot of rain. It didn't rain long, but we had a heck of a lot of rain. It's a little wet down on the field, and that translates to the sticks getting a little wet, and the ball doesn't come out the same all the time. And we've seen a number of passes that have been poorly executed.
And let's not forget, they didn't get a lot of time to warm up here, so it might take them a while to get going. But, if you got 48 minutes, you get the job done.
Gavin Albright with up top. He pushes hard to his right. Moves it quickly, goes cross crease to number 30, Brandon MIAA. Errant shot. Possession, though, maintained by the Friars as we're at 34 seconds on this shot clock.
Real nice offense there. Started up top, fed a guy out on the wing, and we had a cutter across the top of the goal and a good shot. Curley's moving the ball pretty nicely and precisely, I might add.
Yeah, that gets moved over to Matt Ramirez. Ramirez pulls it back out, throws it to his line mates, Granados. Granados down to the left-hand side. He moves it quickly behind. Cutters on the inside as MIAA tries to get a shot off. Another pass to the inside, another force, in my opinion. And they're going to call moving pick. Possession now back to the Friars.
Good call by the official. All right, now that'll reset the shot clock to 80. All right, again, a moving pick. If your teammate has the ball, you cannot make contact with an opponent.
Reversed over to the far side with Albright. This has been the standard set for Curley. Drive down the right-hand alley. Tries to go cross crease. Another errant pass there offensively by the Friars. Just
I really like what I'm seeing out of Hank
opinion.
Walters. He's really seems like he's on top of his game right now. He's seeing the ball. He's doing a nice job leading the defense. Everything you need to have out of your goalkeeper.
Nice job there by Porter Bishop, clearing it by himself. The left-hander goes back to his spot across the midfield line. And as we often see, Noah Zimmerman, quarterback of this offense, starts with possession. Back to Zimmerman it goes.
Zimmerman, one of the captains, going to Salisbury.
Messick up top looking for the pass. Doesn't come back to him as Mason Rowland now maintains possession. He's going to take a dodge from the wing. Works to his right. Nice defense to push him back. Over to Zimmerman. Zimmerman, a little juke move, a little hitch step, so to speak. He goes to his left and beats Cozy offside low.
Well, I might add that so far Zimmerman has shown great ability with his left hand. So as a defender, you Curley defenders, don't overplay this left hand. He fakes that he's going to go down to the right. He's coming back left. So just get your stick up the field and protect from that very thing happening.
Yeah, bad approach there by Wantland of Curley. Creates that opportunity needed to convert on that for Zimmerman.
Zimmerman has 244 career points coming into the game, and he's already off to a great start.
And a great start it has been for the Sabres as they lead 5-2. Probably a little bit surprise here as we're at the 6:07 mark in the second period. Neither team has really dominated on the faceoffs as we have another great ground ball there by Fritz. Fritz taking it by himself. He's going to take it all the way down. He's going to let it go. Oh, easy save there by Walters. Now he's going to have to get back, and the Sabres might have numbers as they quickly get it to Zimmerman.
This is a chance to go to the goal. A lot of dodging space there. Even though it's 4-on-4, if you see those lanes, go for it.
Timeout is taken by the Sabres. A little bit of a surprise there, as to me, it felt like they had a tired Curley defense, but either way, we're going to head to break with St. Peter's and Paul on top by a score of 5-2. Be back to live action shortly.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
This legendary sports group presentation of the 2025 MIAA Lacrosse Championships is presented by Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis, your Baltimore Annapolis area Lexus dealer. SmartLink, keeping America connected, one site at a time. The Cahan Center for Pain Management. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Advanced Radiology, trusted by more doctors, preferred by more patients. Archbishop Spalding Athletics, one in Christ. The Atlas Restaurant Group, motivated to amaze. And Centers for Advanced Orthopedics, celebrating 100 years of orthopedic excellence.
All right, we're back to live action here at United Stadium on the campus of Towson University as the Sabres have called a timeout, back with possession. And, Coach, we were talking about that timeout, not necessarily a bad shot by Fritz, meaning you want to take the shot, but not a very good location.
Well, not a good location, but 4-on-4 opportunities. There's a lot of open space, which is a huge benefit, I think, to any offensive team, especially one, even with a pole that's got talent. In the second game tonight, we may see Robbie Hopper. He would have taken that thing right to the goal, the Spalding's gifted long stick midi. Just real quickly, one thing Curley has done, they came out of that timeout and they gave the ball to J.J. Reardon. You'll notice Curley sent a double team to him immediately. They don't want him to handle the ball.
Over it goes to Zimmerman. Zimmerman back, wants to throw it up top to Dunball. He's cut off nicely. Zimmerman's going to have to maintain possession. Goes down to his right now. He throws it back to that is number 32.
Here comes the double.
J.J. Reardon. Reardon lets it go. To your point, Coach, here comes the double. That may have caused that errant shot.
You know, and you can take that double, attract that double, suck them out towards the sideline, and then you make one pass, and you are playing 5-on-4 lacrosse. So if you're doubled in that situation, drag them out, pull them out, make one good pass, and now you're going to work.
Here it goes. There's the double. Quick recovery.
Dunball cuts, receives a pass, but cut off nicely as it gets transitioned over to Zimmerman. Down to his right, rolls back to his left. Up top it goes to Dunball. He takes a run down the left-hand side, tries to get his hands free. He can't. Steinhardt now has it back to Zimmerman. He goes to his left as we're now down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. Steinhardt's going to have to do something. He gets inside. Errant shot picked up nicely there by Fritz. Pass up top it goes to number 5, Parker Gianelli. Gianelli clears it easily. Secondary break for Curley leads to nothing. They're going to substitute and play some offense here with 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
Another advantage of playing two-way middies, you're not going to give up a lot of transition. They're not looking to come off the field. They're looking to get in the hole and play good, solid defense.
Duval does it himself. He goes to his left, batted away by Walters. Possession maintained by the Friars. Back up top it goes now to Palinkas. Palinkas fakes a shot, pulls it back out. Ball on the far side as Joe Ryan has possession. He likes to match up with Duval. Duval has a short stick on him. He runs to his right. Slide comes quickly. Back up top it goes to Mejia. Shot misses right. Backed up, though, by Kenny. 21 seconds left on the shot on this Curley possession.
Nice slide that time by number 14 in blue, Cole Phillip. Just a freshman. Got a piece of the shooter's gloves.
Kenny has it, pushed way from the goal.
Curley's way under 10. They got to get this offense rolling.
And Palinkas is going to do just that. Fakes to his left, now goes to his right. Oh, great look there. An easy conversion by Mejia as the slides came quickly and the Sabres got lost, Coach.
Well, Brandon Mejia, again, we talked about him at the top, senior. Just a real good first move, good skip pass, and an overhand shot well placed to the low corner away. Fundamentally sound, big goal.
Join us this summer for the 13th Annual National ID Lacrosse Camp, a traditional, old-school, stay-away teaching camp where the focus is player development. Every year, our staff is comprised of multiple Division I players and coaches, so everyone who attends can learn from the best in the game. Spaces are limited, so don't delay. Apply today. Visit us at crabslax.com. This legendary sports group presentation of the 2025 MIAA Lacrosse Championships is presented by CFG Bank, revolutionizing the banking experience. Kelly Benefits, the official benefits partner of the MIAA Championships. O2 Sports Insurance, the #1 sports insurance coverage in the USA. Ocean City, Maryland, something to smile about. Rice Law, best advice, call Rice. Towson Sports Medicine, keep moving with personalized physical therapy and sports medicine. And Toyota, let's go places.
All right, back to live action here as Curley gets on the board most recently to cut into that 3-goal deficit, now make it 2 as we have Albright for the Friars facing off against Messick for the Sabres. Curley headed right to left. St. Peter's and Paul headed left to right. Messick pulls it back behind him, maintain possession, but they're going to get called for a moving pick. Momentum on the side by Curley. They now have possession as Albright has it. He steps in but pulls back out. Probably wise decision with just close to 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in this quarter.
Again, you can't have moving picks. You know, you got to know the rules. You got to be aware of what's going on around you. You know, you get a tough face-off, and all of a sudden you're giving it right back to the offense.
Boy, just a really, really bad decision there. No need to even try to make that pass by Matt Ramirez. Sabres have it. Zimmerman gets back to the inside, pushed away nicely.
Nice defense.
And Zimmerman, Coach, you mentioned you like his style. He's always pushing the angles, trying to get the inside.
Well, I like that fast break. Starts on the defensive end. Good one pass. Now you got your 4-on-3. But credit the Bruins, or the Friars, I'm sorry, for, you know, taking that away and not giving the Sabres a counterattack opportunity.
Here comes the double.
Yeah, I was going to say Raritan starts with it. Back up top it goes. Hands free by Messick. He misses a cage to the right. Great job there by Cozy to back that up. And Curley's going to be on the clear.
Well, that time, Raritan, he should probably wait just a little bit longer for the double to get a little closer to him before he initiates the offense.
Boy, just
Curley guilty of turning.
Another turnover there by Cozy. Now Zimmerman's going to get to the inside. He's trying to do it by himself. And that he does as he splits 3 defenders and beats Cozy low. Boy, any momentum that Curley just had is negated by a great individual play there by Zimmerman.
Well, here's Zimmerman again. Really nice ride. Kind of a poor pass. They got 2 Curley players right next to each other. Zimmerman just, here they go. Another bad approach. I think you've got to be very conscientious of Zimmerman. That is his 4th tally on the day. He's having a day.
Wantland, number 31, locked on to his offensive player instead of getting in the gap and providing some help. That gave Zimmerman the edge that he needed to get to the inside. But it's pushed forward there nicely by Xavier Duval. Duval starts the break. Mejia tries to get to the inside. He does not. Errant stick handling leads to a back check. Possession now back to St. Peter and Paul.
There you saw it right there. There were 3 blue jerseys to 1 white jersey. Every time, that advantage is going to get you that ground ball. Good teamwork.
Boy, individual play there. I believe that is Bishop that makes that play. Coach, you said you liked his style. He's going to let it go. Oh, great save there by Cozy. But, boy, back up top to Zimmerman. Zimmerman can't handle it. And you got Gianelli now on the break. Gianelli's going to split the defense himself. And he pulls it back out as we're now under a minute. Curley wants to get organized. They got numbers coming out of the box. Shot by Palinkas and score as St. Peter's and Paul, Coach, did not communicate well. And they were unorganized there defensively. Palinkas with the opportunity and goal.
Well, this is a great example is if you're stopped, don't hold onto the ball. Keep the ball moving. They transfer the ball to the backside. They have an advantage coming in from the box. And, again, just a real good overhand bounce shot on this wet turf. Tough for any goalie to stop that shot.
Well, what you notice is you had Bishop trailing the play. He was dead tired because he had just taken it the length of the field, missed his opportunity. He's late getting back into the play. That creates the advantage needed for Curley. An important face-off here for both teams with 48 seconds left to go before half. You have Duval against Messick. Duval pulls it in front of him. He now goes down to his right. He's going to let it go. Oh, he misses the cage there, but he's going to draw the penalty as he gets knocked to the turf hard. I'm assuming that's going to be a minute penalty with a hit to the head.
A little bit of a late hit, could be, up into the head neck area. And again, NCAA and MIAA rules, contact to the head neck area can be broken down into 3 different stages. A indirect hit starts at the chest, goes to the head. That's a 1 minute non-releasable. A direct hit goes right to the head. That's a 2 minute unreleasable. And anything that is deemed excessive or flagrant is a 3 minute non-releasable and can lead to ejection. So player safety is number 1 priority.
Coach, here, as we get ready for this extra man opportunity provided to us by Ghost Beverage, it's a 2 minute penalty.
1 minute non-releasable.
Yeah, they had 2, and now they switch it back to 1, but we're at 41 seconds left to go before half. Guys, you've coached a lot of games. What's the strategy here?
Well, the last time Curley had an opportunity on extra man with just 1 second on the shot clock, or actually on the quarter clock, they took a shot and scored a goal. So their intent to attack this, they've got plenty of time based on that first extra man.
And Granado's with it. He pulls back out. Oh, number 22. Ramirez scores. I thought that was a bad look, but he places it nicely as he beats Walters offside low.
And we also have an opportunity for a make-it-take-it here. Really nice step-down shot, just stepping into the passing lane.
Like, Coach, what do you mean by make-it-take-it?
Well, because it's a non-releasable, they score a goal, and if they're still extra for another 30 seconds or so, so 37 seconds or extra, they can win this face-off, pull the ball out, and hold it if they possibly can to start the second half with a man up.
Yeah, and you're going to have, to that point, you're going to have Duval, who won the last face-off for Curley, facing off against the long pole for St. Peter's and Paul. That's number 14, Cole Phillip. And Curley wins possession. Quickly it goes over to Duval. Backside it goes to Mejia. Let's see what they opt to do. Hands free. Bad shot there by Ryan Kenny. To your point, Coach, probably should have just held the ball, right?
Absolutely. This is going to be St. Peter and Paul's ball, I believe, to start the second half because they elected to shoot that. They should have pulled out, held the ball, start the second half a man up.
Yeah, not only was it a bad decision, but it was a bad shot, and that's how this first half is going to end as both teams head to their locker room. St. Peter's and Paul on top by a slim margin of 6-5.
the founder and CEO of O2 Sports Insurance. We're proud to once again be partnering with the MIAA Championship Series, where passion, perseverance, and peak performance take center stage. These events aren't just about winning. They're about the spirit and competition, the strength of teams, and the heart of every athlete who gives it their all. At O2 Sports Insurance, we stand with teams and organizations on and off the field because your commitment inspires everything we do. Let's celebrate the incredible talent, sportsmanship, and drive on display. Get ready for an unforgettable series ahead.
At Rice Law, we've won millions for our injury clients, taken on the biggest insurance companies, and fought in the toughest courtrooms, and made it clear, strong lawyers win strong cases. But none of that matters today. The only case that matters is yours, your fight, your future. And we're ready to go to battle for you. We don't rest on past victories. We fight every case like it's our only one, Because at Rice Law, the most important victory is the one we win for you.
Rice Law. Best advice, call Rice.
Welcome back. We're here at halftime with Paul Bernstorff, the Executive Director of the MIAA. Paul, thanks for joining us today. Paul was let me do it one more time. Before taking on this position, you were at St. Paul's. All right. 5, 4, 3. Welcome back. We're here at halftime with Paul Bernstorff. He is the Executive Director of the MIAA. Paul, thanks for being here to join us. Before taking this position, Paul was at St. Paul's School coaching football, baseball, and golf, and then later was the athletic director for the Crusaders. Paul, this is your third year now. You're finishing up your third year with the MIAA. Coming in, I'm sure you had some expectation and goals. What have you seen so far?
It's been a great experience. When we came in, our goal was to try and provide the best experience we can for kids. And remember, it's an educational experience. Sports are supposed to be education in high school, and I think we've done a great job. Partnering with Legendary has been really good for our league and provided our kids a great opportunity to play in wonderful venues like Towson University.
You couldn't ask for a better venue. We had Navy on Tuesday for the semifinals, and tonight for the finals, we are here at Towson University at Johnny Unitas Stadium. Paul, what do you see down the road as far as your mission?
We just want to keep getting better and giving more opportunities for kids. Do we expand in sports? Do we get more schools in our league? But it's always about keeping the kids in mind and what we can do to provide the experiences for them. This is education, and that's what the forefront of what we're trying to do.
I love that philosophy. Athletics are important, but it's about the total picture. Academics, athletics, and I've always believed that you can learn so much about life that you can take with you through athletics. We'll be back after this to have another chance to speak with Paul.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. Oh, this is going to be fun. Too much fun? No such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Summer's here, and with the new Toyota, you can do all the things that make summer, summer. Take a Grand Highlander and go root for the home team. Send newlyweds off in a Camry. Congrats. Thanks. Or catch some waves with a RAV4. Still got it.
Buy a spacious Grand Highlander with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on an adventure-ready RAV4.
Your summer starts here. That limbo.
Toyota, let's go places.
What if you settle your accident case too soon, only to realize you left thousands, even millions on the table? At Rice Law, we fight for every dollar you deserve. Don't settle for less. Get the right lawyer right now.
Rice Law. Best advice, call Rice.
Welcome back. So, Paul, here we are tonight, Towson University, Johnny Unitas Stadium, for two championships. The B Conference Championship followed by the A Conference Championship. Let's talk about lacrosse specifically. What does lacrosse mean to the MIAA?
Lacrosse is it helps the MIAA become a national league. Everybody knows the MIAA and lacrosse. It brings exposure to our schools all throughout the community. It brings exposure to Baltimore. When you look at the number of views our past championships have gotten, we're in almost 500,000 views for some of those games. It's incredible. Everybody all over the world is tuning into the MIAA championships in lacrosse to see what's going on. So lacrosse is big for the MIAA.
Well, that's great to hear. I know, growing up in this area, going to St. Paul's myself, lacrosse was always a big sport, had a lot of following. I think it's great how you've gone from the MSA years ago now into the MIAA and all the things that you're providing for the student athletes, their coaches, and the institutions.
It is great. It's been 31 years since we were in the MSA. The MIAA has been growing, doing a great job over the time, and we have great schools who provide great opportunities for kids, and it's all about teaching educational lessons for kids. So it's been fun.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for being here. We'll be back after this.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can do all the things that make summer, summer. Take a Grand Highlander and go root for the home team. Send newlyweds off in a Camry. Congrats. Thanks. Or catch some waves with a RAV4. Still got it.
Buy a spacious Grand Highlander with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on an adventure-ready RAV4.
Your summer starts here. That limbo.
Toyota, let's go places.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
All right, we're back here to live action with the MIAA B Conference Final with St. Peter's and Paul on top by a score of 6-5. And we're going to take a look at some highlights, coaches, brought to us by Luminous Health, just to show us how we got here.
Well, the Sabres came flying out of the gate with a 3-0 lead. Zimmerman on the first goal. Just a beautiful, unsettled situation. He got underneath. There's their leading scorer, J.J. Rarden. And then here's another goal off a face-off.
Here's Curley coming back, down 3. They needed some goals, and they got him. Number 22, Matt Ramirez. 2 nice shots to put him in. Noah Zimmerman's had a big first half for the Sabres, and again, Curley finishes it off with a nice shot from the outside.
Well, guys, I think if we're being honest, it hasn't been the prettiest first half of lacrosse, but it's certainly been close and entertaining, as we see here by these stats, again, brought to us by Luminous Health.
Well, shots are even. Shots on goal, pretty much the same. The face-offs really in favor of Curley.
Well, I might add, the caused turnovers, every team's caused some turnovers, but not on that turnover list is the ones that are self-inflicted.
Right.
By both teams.
Speaking of self-inflicted, Coach, we spoke about, we don't know for sure how this is going to play out, the errant shot there by Kenny right before the halftime when Curley, we thought we should have held it and maintained possession.
Well, that last stat, extra man, Curley has shown that their man up is very, very effective. They're 2 for 3. St. Peter and Paul, they have to be careful not to foul.
Yeah, you see the crowd here. It's been a nice crowd. We thought there wouldn't be much after that hellacious storm that rolled through that caused the delay, but both teams have brought their fans here, and it's turned out to be a great night for lacrosse.
Well, the Spalding faithful and the Calvert Hall faithful who were Spalding's got a little bit further to go, so those folks have been up here probably hanging in the parking lot. Calvert Hall's, I know their team stayed at Calvert Hall during this weather delay, and they just come into the stadium right here at halftime. So they've been close and relaxed in their home facility. Spalding, on the other hand, has to deal with being, pretty far away from home.
So guys, let's talk about that play right before half. We were trying to figure out what might occur at the start here in the third quarter. What's the situation? And what are the options?
In lacrosse, like in basketball, if a shot is released before the buzzer, the shot is still live. In that situation, the shot was released. Did the goalie have possession when the time expired? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like they're going to face off. On normal situations, if, let's say, your team has the ball and you're trying to hold the ball at the end of a quarter, then a ball in flight is not possession. So it's kind of a hybrid situation here. I think the officials had determined that the ball was not in possession. The ball was loose, even though it was a shot. Therefore, they're going to face it off. But again, Curley will be man-up face-off. As you'll notice, they have a man on each wing, and St. Peter's and Paul's only have the one.
Here's where our debate at halftime, in a way, doesn't make any sense. That shot that was taken, if the horn had gone off and it had gone in, it would have counted.
Right.
So why not, if the goalie saves it, why don't they get the benefit of that shot as well? But
yeah, and here we go. As we get started here in the third quarter with that faceoff brought to us by Rice Law. Nice job there by Cole Phillip, who has been taking a lot of the draws here for the Sabres as they were getting overmatched by Duval of the Friars.
Still 10 seconds on this penalty clock. St. Peter and Paul will be content on holding the ball and waiting for this. Here he comes out of the box now. We are all even.
Yeah, really a missed opportunity. Coach, you had pointed out that Curley was 2 of 3 on their extra man opportunities. And now it's going to be them playing defense first instead of having a man-up opportunity.
Yeah, you got to know the situation. Hold on to that ball, and instead of having to face it off, they have possession. And as it turned out, St. Peter and Paul won the face-off.
And here's Zimmerman with possession. Very active player. You noted, guy that really likes to get into the angles, gets his hands free, gets a shot off. It's errant, but possession maintained by the Sabres.
Now, one thing we've seen throughout the game is Zimmerman clearly wants to get back to his left hand.
Yeah, Reardon starts with it. That ball moves back up top to Steinhardt. Oh, Steinhardt, wow, missed opportunity there as Roland couldn't connect. Fast break opportunity here for Curley. Quickly it goes as they rotate it. Shot fired. Missed cage there by MIAA, but possession maintained by Curley.
Nice 4-on-3, textbook. Defenseman brings the ball down, draws a slide, perfect pass to the point man. One more, just couldn't connect.
And Joe Ryan starts with it as it's moved up top to Matt Ramirez. We saw a lot in that first half, Coach Shrives, with Curley starting their offense right here up the top right side, just driving the alley. What's the intent of that?
Well,
the
right
intent of that is to score, right?
Well, one of the intents is you're driving down the alley. You want to swing the ball behind the goal and have it come out the other side. However, if the other team's making poor slide decisions here, which St. Peter and Paul does, that's just too easy.
And no second slide that time. Right, a long slide and no second slide down the backside.
Well, we can forget about that lack of opportunity coming out at halftime as Curley is first to score, and they have come all the way back now to knot this up at 6-6. And as they have done most of today, they have sent Duval out to take the draw as Curley is heading left to right. And the Sabres heading right to left. Pulled back behind, though, by Messick for the Sabres. He can't get possession. Tough ground ball, though, picked up by the Friars as they seem to have regained momentum here, Coach.
Well, the Friars got a big break there. They knocked the St. Peter and Paul face-off guy, or the wing guy, down on the ground from behind. The Sabre bench was going rather ballistic would be a fair statement.
Joe Ryan gets it to MIAA. He tries to go cross crease with it, pass knocked to the ground, but the big guy picks it back up, tries to throw a pass. It's knocked around. I think possession is going to be maintained by Curley. He gets rewarded for his hard work.
I liked what Brandon MIAA did that time. He missed the shot, but he stayed with it, got some ground balls, retains possession for the Friars.
Gianelli now has it. Here we go, Coach, with that set. Doesn't drive as hard as typically does as it gets reversed back around to Ryan Kenny.
There's the play. Drive down the wing, throw it down behind the goal, try to swing it to the other side. From the strong side to the weak side. Switch the fields.
Yeah, and that they do as it starts now with Palinkas. Palinkas drives to his right. Old school bounce shot goes as he bounces it outside the crease, Coach, over Walter's shoulder. Sabres now in trouble as they now trail by scores 7-6.
Look at nothing fancy. All right, gets the ball, nice pass, good first move. You always want to try to beat your man with that first move, and the high bouncer, the overhand bouncer. Notice that ball bounced outside the crease, which allowed the ball to work its way up. The goalie goes down thinking it's a low shot. Really nice shot.
Yeah, a lot of times nowadays, Coach, you see players really bouncing it at the feet of the goalie. That's an easy save. As to your point, that was 3 yards outside the crease. Makes it really difficult for a guy like Walters.
Right, and those shots that bounce at the goalie's feet, they're not bounce shots. They're really turnovers.
Curley changes it up as they send Gavin Albright out, giving Duval a rest. Albright has it initially, can't pick it up. Still a scramble for it, but another loose ball picked up there by the Friars as they are eagerly trying to maintain possession there, but that pressure causes an error. Ball back to Sabres on the clear.
That's number 6 in white, Gavin Sparzak, the junior. Really nice ground ball. Again, you can't be careless with those passes. take your time, throw an accurate pass, finish the play.
Just a quick observation. One big difference, just watching these teams go up and down the field a little bit, is Curley's got more speed, especially in the middle of the field, than St. Peter and Paul does. And it's showing off here at key times, clearing the ball, unsettled situations. When Curley gets moving down from one end of the field to the other, they're just a little quicker.
In talking to Coach Ogle, he thought the keys were to get first-time ground balls and clear the ball successfully. So far, those things are happening.
Rowland now has it up top as the Sabres are in desperate need of a goal. As it seems like it's been a while since they put one in the back of the net. Zimmerman might be the guy to do it as he sweeps to the left, has a short stick on him, rolls back to his left again, gets his hands free, sidearm shot high. Not probably the greatest angle if you're going to try to convert against Cozy. Cozy now trying to take it on his own. Great individual effort there as he clears it. And possession maintained by Ryan Kinney.
Or even in that situation, the Curley goalie's just a little bit quicker than the midfielders for St. Peter and Paul. And it showed up in that situation with his big goalie stick executing a nice, successful clear.
Kenny makes a nice play, but then gets it checked out of his stick as Walters is going to try to clear it himself. Pass, boy, right in front of the Curley bench, and that's going to be probably a 2-minute penalty on number 33 as you had a man on his knees and then a shot to the head.
We'll have to look at it again.
It's in a way a tough break for the Curley guy. The Zimmerman just fell down.
Yeah.
And the Curley guy couldn't stop, and sure enough, his knee right into the helmet. Coach Zimmerman, you know these rules better than I.
Well, let's see what the official calls. Again, the head and neck area is a whole different ball game. The officials are going to talk about it and decide whether it is an unreleasable or not, depending on where the contact was made.
1 minute penalty there, Coach, on number 33, Balin Boots for the Friars. As you get a look there at Boots, who's in the penalty box, he puts his hands in the air, coaches, to say, what did I do?
Well, they're going to call that
just a 1 minute cross check, it looked like.
No release. All right, full serve. Again, this means that St. Peter and Paul's man up. If they score a goal, they will then go to the man up face-off. So an opportunity for them to put a couple goals on the board.
Yeah, big opportunity for both teams as Raritan goes to the inside, and they waste no time as he finds Mason Rowland, number 20, the freshman, for an easy conversion. We're tied at 7.
Just as simple. They look like they're in a 1-4, and Rowland, just sneaking in underneath somebody. They're losing sight of the most important guy on the field, which is the crease guy. Real nice feed by Raritan and a good finish for the freshman.
Yeah, the Sabres knotted up on that extra man provided to us by Ghost Beverage. And it looks like, to your point, Coach Zim, they're going to still face off a man down.
With 49 seconds left in that non-releasable penalty. So here's a golden opportunity, like we said. Plenty of time to get another one with this man-up unit.
I think that Zimmerman back in the game. Yeah. Certainly they're one of their biggest threats. And this is a rare opportunity for Raritan to have the ball in his stick. Oh, no, I apologize. They're shutting off Raritan, number 32, right out there at the top of the box.
5-on-4 is not bad.
Coach, why would a team want to go 5-on-4?
I don't know. I think it's so much easier to score a goal 5-on-4 versus 6-on-5. It's only one player difference, but the lanes are so much wider open.
Yeah, to that point, Zimmerman is obviously not feeling any effects from that hit as he, again, Coach, hitches, gets to the inside, gets his hands free, easy conversion. Better approach needed by Curley defensively.
Absolutely. Watch this left-handed fake. He looks like he's going to fake back. He's going – actually, he just gave a little shoulder fake that he was going back behind the goal. Another bad approach, and give Zimmerman some credit. That's his 5th tally, and a couple of those have been just beautiful moves and finishes.
Well, one of the things that you got to do in that situation is you got to break down. You can't go out to a guy out of control because he's going to do just that. He's going to run right by you. Get there, break down, try to get a piece of the shooter's gloves.
Boy, Messick, I believe, can't pick that up. Push, no call, possession now back to Curley as all of a sudden they go from leading 7-6, now trailing 8-7.
Well, we've got this time last year, I think by the middle about the third quarter, this game was fast getting out of hand, and Curley had a really nice lead. This is a much different contest. Looks like St. Peter and Paul's going into a zone defense.
Yeah, with that, Joe Ryan starts with it as he gets his offense the way he wants it against that zone. Up top, it is now with Gianelli. Gianelli, coach, looks like he's going to test to see if it is, in fact, a zone. And it is. As a shot, quick shot there, gobbled up. I don't even think it made it to Walters as it was blocked in front.
Hit a field player.
Boy, errant pass, though, initially by the Sabres, picked up. Back to Walters it goes as they got to start their clear.
Nice ground ball and a better turn. So many people turn incorrectly.
Oh.
Great look.
Here he is again.
Boy, this is good. This could be dangerous.
Nice defense that time.
Boy, that's great defense there by Wantlin as he's had some troubles against Zimmerman. Great clearing pass there by Cozy. Gianelli brings it back, and Curley's going to start their offense once again.
I know Zimmerman's off to a great start, but again, you got to play the full 48 minutes and make good decisions. That time, I think he tried to force it a little bit. All right, stick to the game plan.
Yeah, great.
This is a good time to go to the goal. They're unsettled.
And to that point, great, but another bad shot.
And
as the defender puts his head in the air, he can't do that. He's got to get back in the cage. He's got to get back on sides.
That was a pure 4-on-3. Right,
Yeah.
Again. Do your job, get the ball to the attack, let them do theirs.
And we're seeing some old school lacrosse here. Both teams are going up and down, largely due to errant passes, and which is causing transition for each team. Tired middies by the Friars as they're going to sub out and get some fresh legs on the field.
Drop back into the zone. Second time.
Coach, at this point, would you go to zone because you have a tired defense, or you just think you want to provide a different look and or an advantage to
maybe both
a lack of outside shooting?
Again, don't
by
forget,
the Friars.
Archbishop Curley has more players to use than St. Peter and Paul. So I think it's a combination, Chris. I think it's, give your defense a little bit of a rest, maybe throw something different at the offense.
He quickly throws it over to his right. Ryan Kenny has it, pulls it back out as we're down to 15 seconds on the shot clock. Curley taking a long time to get anything on offense started. And now we're in panic mode. He goes to his right. And, boy, that is not going to work. Bad offensive set there by the Friars. I don't know if it was so much the zone or just bad substitutions,
Well,
Coach.
look, it's one of the reasons you play some zone. Eat up a lot of clock. Offenses take a lot of time throwing the ball around. Truthfully, one of the best ways to beat the zone is to dodge it. Just run your regular offense, Curley. You've had success on 2 of your last 3 possessions running your regular offense, and then on this 2 straight possessions against the zone, they've struggled a little bit.
Up top it goes to Dunball. Dunball, the left-hander, sweeps to his left, draws the slide. Slide does its job as he backs back out. Now he drives to his left. Pass dropped. Curley doesn't see it hit the turf.
Nice ground ball that time.
That's the freshman.
Mason Rowland, the freshman. Second chance opportunity now.
Yeah, Zimmerman
for
has
the Sabres.
He looks back at the shot clock. It is now down to 25. He goes to his left, looks to the inside. Great back check there as the ball hits the turf. Picked up, though, by Reardon.
Crease violation.
Yeah,
change of possession.
Crease violation back to Curley. As all of a sudden, guys, we're down to 2:15. This has been a quick-moving third quarter. And let's see if they stay in that zone.
They drop back into it.
As Ryan has it, he tries to quarterback this offensive set and get players where he wants. As Kenny now has it, looking to the inside, but he moves it back up top.
Even with 2 freshmen playing close defense, St. Peter and Paul has good size at the close defensive end. Number 8, big kid. The other 2 guys down on the blocks have good size as well.
Well, shot to the head there, no call.
A little bit of a turn there.
Now
I think
Ryan
that's why the
has it.
officials let it go.
We're down to 30. Here's the ball, gets transferred behind to Kenny. Kenny looks to the inside, doesn't like what he sees. Mejia, the big guy, gets inside, takes an errant shot. They're going to call it a shot. Possession maintained by the Friars.
Nice lift that time by Cole Phillip.
We're down to 20 seconds on this important possession as we near the end of the third quarter. It's been back and forth here in this second half. Up top it goes. Ramirez puts his shoulder down. A flip quickly to Gianelli. We're down to 2 seconds. Man, that's two bad possessions in a row. And the Sabres now are going to clear as we're under a minute left to go here in this third quarter.
You might have seen the ball hit the official. The official is part of the field, so if a ball hits official, they don't blow the whistle. Keep playing.
And pressure being applied, but there he is, Coach, as he's been all day, whether it be making a push towards the cage or an outlet. He gets his hands free, right-handed, as we don't see a lot. Missed the cage. Possession, though, maintained by the Sabres.
Nice help by Zimmerman. His teammates were getting pressured out by the Curley defense, and he, way down on that left side, he got to the middle of the field to help out.
Raritan has it. We have 45 seconds on a shot clock. That's not really going to matter as we're down to 20. I'm assuming the Sabres will hold it for that last shot.
Going for the last shot.
Well, he's got to start a little bit sooner than this, I think.
Raritan now pushing to his right. No angle towards the cage. Reverses it back behind. Back up top, it goes to Steinhardt. Steinhardt beats Cozy offside high with 3 seconds to go. Great offense, Coach, or bad defense?
Well, I don't know. Well, it looked like the Sabres were going to run out of the quarter clock and the shot clock, but daggone it, with 3 seconds left and a really beautiful shot by Steinhardt. 2-goal lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Summer's here, and with the new Toyota, you can do all the things that make summer, summer. Take a Grand Highlander and go root for the home team. Send newlyweds off in a Camry. Congrats. Thanks. Or catch some waves with a RAV4. Still got it.
Buy a spacious Grand Highlander with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on an adventure-ready RAV4.
Your summer starts here. That limbo.
Toyota, let's go places.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can start it with a splash. With a play date at a park. Or at a party with friends. Or at an epic water balloon fight. Gotcha!
Buy a sporty Camry with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on a stylish new Corolla sedan or hatchback.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, I'm Ken Keelan, the founder and CEO of O2 Sports Insurance. We're proud to once again be partnering with the MIAA Championship Series, where passion, perseverance, and peak performance take center stage. These events aren't just about winning. They're about the spirit and competition, the strength of teams, and the heart of every athlete who gives it their all. At O2 Sports Insurance, we stand with teams and organizations on and off the field because your commitment inspires everything we do. Let's celebrate the incredible talent, sportsmanship, and drive on display. Get ready for an unforgettable series ahead.
All right, we're back to live action. Point of distinction, though, that was not the end of the quarter. That was a media timeout, Coach.
Media timeout, 3 seconds left, so neither coach called that, and I would have been surprised if they did. That's not the time to call a timeout. You got to save it for the fourth quarter.
And that's a great point, is we end the third quarter with St. Peter and Paul coming back after being down to take the lead of 9-7. as both teams head to their respective benches. Don't leave us, folks. We're headed for a good one. Back to live action in a moment.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go here, surf's up, here, woo, and here.
Buy an off-road ready Tacoma with special financing as low as 3.75%, or get special 1.99% financing on a full-size Tundra.
Your summer starts here and just keeps on going.
Toyota, let's go places.
I'm the founder and CEO of O2 Sports Insurance. We're proud to once again be partnering with the MIAA Championship Series, where passion, perseverance, and peak performance take center stage. These events aren't just about winning. They're about the spirit and competition, the strength of teams, and the heart of every athlete who gives it their all. At O2 Sports Insurance, we stand with teams and organizations on and off the field because your commitment inspires everything we do. Let's celebrate the incredible talent, sportsmanship, and drive on display. Get ready for an unforgettable series ahead.
All right, here we go. We're back to live action here at United Stadium in the home stretch, starting with a faceoff brought to us by Ocean City, Maryland. You have Duval out there pushing it to his left. All great ground ball picked up initially, but picked up, though, nicely. A push from behind there.
They're going to call it.
They're going to call that. It's going to be loose ball push with possession for the Sabres. I was shocked there, Coach. Curley player dropped his stick. I thought they would stop play there, no?
Well, I think they're going to give him a chance to pick it up before they call the playing without the stick.
I'll tell you an important stat here that we had during the break. So Saints, Peter and Paul, after scoring 4 in a row and taking first lead 7-6, have not scored in the last 9+ minutes.
Curley does a really nice job while they're settling in on defense, not allowing easy passes to the clearing team, pressing out and making it uncomfortable.
What a lot of young players do in this situation is they check up on their man. What they need to do is check up to their area of responsibility. And that time, as you said, Curley did a great job with that. They weren't all spread out. Their area of responsibility was to condense and circle the wagons, and they did that really to perfection.
Curley gets lucky there, in my opinion, as Raritan gets to the middle. 3 defenders chasing the ball, but it doesn't result in anything as Cozy there blocks the shot. Yeah, but it's going to be picked back up again by Steinhardt, and we're going to get a new shot clock at 60. Behind the back pass there by Dumball. Doesn't hit the cage, but it doesn't matter as the Sabres maintain possession.
And again, Raritan will handle the ball. Let's see if they come with that double. And if they do, again, suck that double out away from the center of the field. Bang one past your teammate. You're playing 5-on-4.
Slide comes quickly. Raritan transfers up top to Dumball. Dumball takes a shot, bounces off a Curley player. Nice job there, though, hustling to the midline there by Cole Phillip, who's made numerous nice plays tonight for the Sabres. That Curley defense is looking tired, in my opinion. Oh, here's somebody with great speed. Is there going to have a break? And what's going to be the call here?
Moving pick. Curley
wow,
player
that's got to be
knocked down.
Frustrating for the Friars as they had a definitive 4-on-3. A golden opportunity goes to no opportunity because of a moving pick.
Boy, those kind of plays can kill you. You know, I mean, that's a 4-on-3, a high percentage shot situation to score a goal. And again, it's about communication. You got to talk. When you go for the ball, you yell ball. When you pick it up, you got to yell release.
Yeah, not to mention, though, it's a fresh 80 for the Sabres against a pretty tired defense. As the pass goes to the inside, and they look tired there. As number 20, Mason Rowland scores an easy one as he has no one around me prior to putting it back to the
freshman
back of the net.
Showed up pretty nicely in this game. This is his second goal. He's picked up a nice ground ball down at the offensive end to save a possession, finds himself open, does a great job coming to the pass before he turns to the goalie, preventing anybody that's coming from behind him to get a check in.
Yeah, in my opinion, Coach, Gavin Albright, number 3 for Curley, slides. Really no need to do so. That creates that open space.
Agree. No need to slide there.
Curley now trails 10-7, and they lose this draw as things have turned in their favor. They were once dominating the X. They are no longer doing that.
Faceoffs are so key. Possession is everything in this game. And right now, St. Peter and Paul, they're winning those face-off battles.
I think it's important to note that Curley's woes started when St. Peter and Paul went to a zone, and they looked completely confused. And that has changed everything in this game.
Well, again, threw them off balance and also rested their personnel. Not that you can rest, but it's not as much wear and tear on the legs when you play zone.
Messick has it. He drives to his right again. Slide comes quickly, probably no need. Gets the defense out of position. Steinhardt really showing his athleticism as he goes high, misses the cage. Possession, though, back to the Sabres as Messick's going to start with it.
That was a real nice move by Andrew Steinhardt. Just a sophomore.
And I'm corrected. Messick is not going to start with it. Reardon is, as he moves it to the corner. And we're going to have 30 seconds now on this shot clock as Reardon pushes hard to his right behind the cage. Slide comes quickly again, though, Coach.
When that happens, if you have 2 men on the crease, you have to separate. You never want to allow one defender to play 2.
It often looks like when the Sabres don't have anything on offense, they quickly find 7, and 7 settles them down and starts creating opportunities for them. Shots denied. Curley can't find it. Now they do. Nice swim move there by Matt Ramirez. Ramirez trying to do it by himself. He gets slapped from behind. No offsides, no penalty. Ramirez moves it back. Boy, just an errant play there, and they're going to get bailed out with a penalty as Gianelli tries to do too much. Gets knocked to the turf. Coach, you raise your arms as if to say, I didn't see that.
Well, I'm just it seems to me that Ramirez is trying to make something out of nothing there, and the refs, did they bail him out here? Maybe a little push from the behind. Well, that's Zimmerman stuck back on defense.
That's a great point there, Coach. I was getting ready to say you had an attackman back on defense, and he's going to pick up the penalty. It's going to be a 30-second one. That's going to generate this extra man brought to us by Ghost Beverage. Important opportunity here for the Curley Friars. I can't emphasize that enough.
There's Coach Walters there. Just went into the JUCO College Lacrosse Hall of Fame this past weekend or within the last couple weeks.
During the tournament. So congratulations to Coach Walford.
Kenny has it being pushed away. Curley's going to have to act quickly if they want to get some type of shot off. Tough pass on the inside there, fading backwards. Probably Curley trying to, oh, wow.
Got
great
a 3-on-2
ball there. Coach, to your point, they now have a 3-on-2.
You know, again, do your job. You got a nice ground ball. You bring it down. You got a 3-on-2. Draw the slide. Give it to an attackman. Let them do their job.
Hey, the one thing I will say, he shot the ball and missed the cage, so they at least were able to back it up. And then number 22, Steinhardt, who's had him. Oh, no, I apologize. That's J.J. Reardon.
Coach, that's your guy he started with, but you can see the guy's bent over on the Curley defensive side of the field. They're spent. Even Cozy down on one knee as Reardon with that juice goal that may be the one that pushes St. Peter's and Paul towards this elusive title.
See if Coach Ogle doesn't take this opportunity for a timeout.
There's
Good
the coach
timeout.
in you. You're correct. You have one team looking bewildered, the other one jumping for joy as the Sabres can sense that they might just win this thing, leading 11-7.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
All right, we're back live here at the MIAA Lacrosse B final as the Sabres of St. Peter's and Paul are now up by a score 11-7, and we're going to now take a look at the O2 Sports Performance defensive play of the game.
Great play by Andrew Steinhardt there. Starts off this fast break, and the man Noah Zimmerman, who's had 5 goals on the afternoon with his first one. And I apologize, that wasn't Steinhardt. That was number 20, freshman for the Sabres, who's really played really well today. Mason Rowland, he's got a couple goals. Beautiful pickoff there, led to a fast break and the first goal of the game.
For a freshman, he's playing beyond his years. He's got good lacrosse IQ. He makes smart decisions. And there's a great example of it.
Well,
anticipated that pass, picked it off. There they go.
We were talking about at break. There's been a couple things that have flipped this in the Sabres' favor. One of them has been face-offs as Duval there pushes it forward, but he can't get it as you got great wing play there by number
Langdon Anderson has played
for
extremely
the Sabres as once again the Sabres have possession.
Yeah, he's played great in the middle of the field, Anderson. Picked up a lot of loose balls.
Now you get into the situation now where you got a 4-goal lead, 7:12 to go. I think you can use the clock to your advantage, but you certainly don't want to take the air completely out of the ball. Be patient, run your offense, work for that high-quality shot.
Yeah, to your point, Coach, being somewhat deliberate here. As Steinhardt pushes it around to his right. Back up top, it's going to go to Messick, who's had a really nice game for the Sabres, both offensively and at the X. Zimmerman pushes to his right, rolls to his left, nothing on the inside, pushes it back up top to Messick. Zimmerman now says, I'm going to take it behind. I'm going to work on this tired defense as Wantlin stick out in front, up for the challenge.
Big little here.
Yeah, Messick draws a screen. Draws a pick, misses the cage wide, but as it had been most of the night, the Sabres maintain possession with 12 left on that shot clock.
Reardon comes to get the ball. Short clock.
Coach, is it a strategy that Reardon always starts with? Always starts with that dead ball?
Well, he's been shut off during most offensive possessions, so when the ball goes out of bounds and it's their ball, they've been intent to make sure he has it.
And that's a smart play, because what's going to happen, and we've seen it, is now Curley will send the double and he can draw that double out. And now one pass, 5-on-4 offense.
Trailing by 4, Curley now is going to have to be deliberate but yet hurry.
Tough for him to do against his own defense.
Yeah, that's a great point. And as we had said earlier, they have really not looked comfortable ever since that has gone into place. As Duval had it up top, he pushes it over to Gavin Albright. Albright back to Duval, nothing on the inside.
No, dodge the zone, dodge it. Try to draw those 2 guys in on the wing to 1 and then start spinning the ball. Right there. That's a good play.
There you go, Coach. As Xavier Duval hears you all the way from the box as he gets a much-needed goal to make it 11-8, St. Peter's and Paul. As we see up top.
All right, good patience by the Friar offense against the zone. Duval gets his hands free. Just well-placed shot low and away. Big goal for the Friars.
We talk about focus, effort, and have fun, okay? The focus and the effort includes accountability, right? Okay? This means something to be out here. I saw guys running, I saw guys throwing the ball, and I saw guys having a lot of fun.
This legendary sports group presentation of the 2025 MIAA Lacrosse Championships is presented by CFG Bank, revolutionizing the banking experience. Kelly Benefits, the official benefits partner of the MIAA Championships. O2 Sports Insurance, the #1 sports insurance coverage in the USA. Ocean City, Maryland, something to smile about. Rice Law, best advice, call Rice. Towson Sports Medicine, keep moving with personalized physical therapy and sports medicine. And Toyota, let's go places.
All right, we're back live here as we're coming down the home stretch in the B Conference Final with St. Peter's and Paul on top by a score of 11-8. As we prepare for the Advanced Radiology next broadcast, which is going to be the MIAA Conference Final, as you have the Cardinals of Calvert Hall taking on the Cavaliers of Archbishop. Spalding, Coach, you said it, really important face-off here for both teams, but more than anyone, Curley. And the ball gets pulled behind. Duval, who had the last goal for them, doing it by himself as he maintains possession, gets across the midfield line as the Friars start their offense.
Well, one thing about zone defense, everybody thinks all you got to do is stand around. You have to move, especially when you're moved from one spot to the other. You got to get back to your position quickly.
Yeah, Duval taking your advice, Coach. Almost like the zone in defense. He's dodging and forcing to the gaps and forcing that slide and then moving it to the next player. And we're down to 40 seconds on this important possession for Archbishop Curley as Kenny now has it. Now, I think it should be said, if nothing else, they are forcing Curley to run off a lot of clock. Shot there by Kenny, but not a great selection, Coach, as you put your hands in the air.
Well, it's a poor angle shot, and Walters is up to the task, but then he throws a poor outlet pass. Looks like he's got kind of a funky stick, probably got a whip in it.
Yeah, big ground ball here. Let's see if Curley tries to do something in the unsettles. They've struggled against that zone, but they're not going to be able to because the Sabres do a nice job getting back in the hole, so to speak, and making Curley make decisions.
A lot of time on the shot clock. Plenty of time to run your offense. I think they're getting a better feel for this zone as the game goes on.
Yeah, big shot there by Ramirez, but he misses the cage. To your point, though, Coach, still 58 left on the shot clock.
We got a man down with a cramp. Timeout was called. That's Porter Bishop. He's been all over the field tonight.
And we're going to, as we head to break, don't leave us, folks. We're heading down the home stretch. Back to live action in a moment.
This legendary sports group presentation of the 2025 MIAA Lacrosse Championships is presented by Crabs Lacrosse, Baltimore Crabs, locally grown, nationally known. 5-Star, the official highlights provider of the MIAA Championships. Lacrosse Wear, the industry leader in custom uniforms since 2001. Lido Pizza, the preferred pizza of the MIAA Championships. Luminous Health, your comeback starts here. Rehab to Perform. Stay ready to perform with Rehab to Perform physical therapy. Don't be left on the sidelines. And the Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch. The Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. Personalized strategies for your long-term goals.
All right, we're back to live action, and you're looking at the Sheehy Lexus player of the game, number 7, Noah Zimmerman for St. Peter and Paul, Coach.
First goal of the game, playing him out too far. He gets to his left hand, sticks this one, gets underneath here, sticks another one. Beautiful individual effort there. That's his third of 5 tallies for the Sabres tonight. Noah's had a wonderful tilt.
Well, let's see what Curley comes out of the huddle with, as they had an opportunity during the timeout to once again figure out how they're going to penetrate this zone.
Well, I do see one adjustment the Sabres have made. They've actually had their poles, just one pole up top. Now they have 2 poles up top, which is disrupting, especially number 22, right here with the ball, who's one of Curley's best shooters.
I think he's had 2 goals against the zone, so good move.
Well, you know, Mejia comes around the cage, but he has a stick in his right hand. Really should be in his left. Curley, though, picks up possession. Big shot there. Bad placement, though, as it's going to be an easy save there by Walters. Bad shot by Ramirez.
Well, Ramirez had to shoot. The shot clock was winding down to about 5-6 seconds right then. They needed to get a shot on goal, and wasn't a good one, but I think he was forced to take that.
We've seen the benefit of shooting that high bouncer, bounce the ball outside by the crease. It's been effective. You know, you got to learn as the game goes on. That would have been a great opportunity to shoot that shot.
Needless to say, I think the Sabres are going to hold and be very deliberate. Oh, they hit the post. They hit the post as a wide-open Reardon, Coach. He never misses.
Well,
misses that one.
And the goalie was not in the cage as they had pulled out to double the ball. There's still plenty of time, but they don't have any to waste.
And Curley brings it across midfield. Over it goes to Palinkas. But as we've said, it's still, you said plenty of time, but time is ticking away. Tick, tick, tick on Curley's opportunity to win their 4th consecutive B Conference title.
And there's that freshman we've talked about a bunch, Mason Rowland, heads up play there. He got in, checked up on the ball, and then he jumped immediately into the crease. Look at him, the small man in the middle. He's been in the crease for a couple of his offensive goals, and now he's covering the defensive end. Let's give that young man a lot of credit.
Ramirez sends an errant shot wide, 60 seconds so back on the clock. Goes back to Ramirez. He's going to let another one go. Great face dodge there. Bounce shot goes, and now it gets closer as the score is 11-8. St. Peter and Paul, 11-9.
The junior comes up with a big goal and a face dodge. Gets in here, looks to shoot. Big face dodge, and there's that overhand bouncer. Tough for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I know.
On cage.
I know what you're saying, Coach. Take body, and they do not. And they are rewarded with a goal. Important face-off here as Curley now has drawn within 2. 1:34 left to go. Pushed forward by Messick. Duval, though, giving everything he can. Can't pick it up. Oh, Messick picks it back up, and they're going to milk this as much as they possibly can as Curley comes out and applies instant pressure.
Big ground ball. I mean, that is a big ground ball in this game.
Important to note that Cozy for Curley, the goalie, is still in the cage. Reardon pulls it behind. Pressure being applied diligently by Matlin. And looks like they're going to call a timeout. Coach Walters didn't like what he sees, Coach, or did he see a tired team? Either way, he calls a timeout to get things set.
Good timeout. Yeah, his guy was a little bit in trouble. However, all right, at that position on the field, they can double the ball with no angle to shoot. I would have carried it a little bit further up the field, then call the timeout. Now, if you double the ball, you have an angle to shoot to the open net.
All right, we're going to get ready for the 5-star play of the game, and that's going to be given to us by number 32, J.J. Reardon. See, Reardon comes around to the right. Bad defense there by Curley. This was at the beginning of the game. He goes uninhibited towards the cage. Fakes high, goes low.
J.J. had been shut off the entire game. That was early in the game where he was shut off. He had been in on the crease. He rolled around the back of the goal. He got a pick from one of his men. Curley was late helping out on him, and he just got to the front of the cage with a nice finish.
And I want to remind everybody that play of the game is brought to us by 5-star And again, that's number 32, J.J. Reardon for St. Peter and Paul.
Just a junior, committed to Monmouth. Last year was all conference. And again, coming into this game, 208 career points. And for the year, coming into this game, 90 goals, 32 assists, 122 points.
Coach Shriver, you seem to disagree with that timeout. We have
Well,
a difference of opinion.
Well, here's your best player. He's your biggest player. He's out by himself. They hadn't sent a double to him yet, so you might be able to eat up another 5-7 seconds until a double gets to him, and then you can call your timeout. But this is a big, strapping kid. Nobody was coming to him, so you might have been able to eat a couple more seconds up before you burned one.
Well,
and bring it further up the field.
Here's the risk, and you're going to see it. He splits the double team. Oh, check is made. Can they pick it up? Can they pick it up? They can. They're going to have to hustle. I thought that was going to be a goal as the ball moves quickly over for Curley. Kinney looking for help. Hands free. Shot. And again, another bad selection as Walters has to do almost nothing to make that save.
Great poise in the crease by Walters. This 20 seconds pass out of bounds.
And that's not great poise by number 8, Porter Bishop, who has had such a great game as he throws it errantly out of bounds. Possession now back to Curley.
I think Bishop's just about run out of gas.
And they are going to have to hustle as we're now down to 36 seconds. Taking a timeout, I would think more than anything, strategy lies on the side of Curley as they need to make up 2 pretty quickly. Thoughts, guys?
Well, they've seen the zone now for more than a half. You know, they'll probably draw up a play, try to get a quick shot. If not, then you leave it up to your players. Someone's got to step up and take charge and take it upon himself to try to make something happen.
Yeah, but, Coach, it's got to be a good shot, right? We've seen
shots.
numerous opportunities here
Quality
where
shots.
To Coach Strauss' point, Porter has not had to move. That, easier said than done, but he hasn't had to move.
I think it's the old John Wooden saying, be quick, but don't hurry. You got to be quick about what you're doing, but don't rush things. Stay composed. Everybody on the same page with whatever play that the coach draws up. Put the shot on target. Make the goalie make a save.
Well, we're going to see what happens now as you're seeing the students now for both Calvert Hall and Spalding start to file into the stands.
Caleb Cruson is 100% one of the heart and souls of this Sabre team. His teammates rally around him. He rallies around him. One of his family's best friends rigged this stick up on his wheelchair. He can shoot a lacrosse ball, and he's scored 5 goals this year. What an inspiration.
And Curley with possession again. The clock is ticking way down to 26 seconds. They're going to have to let one go. They cannot find an opening anywhere, and that is going to do it, in my humble opinion.
Great stick there.
As it's going to be intercepted, and back to Zimmerman it goes, and it's going to be tough to get hit out of his stick.
Well, ironically, Curley was going for a 4-peat. We watched McDonald lose their opportunity to get in this championship game tonight for their 4-peat. But the last team in the B Conference who has won 3 in a row happened to be St. Peter and Paul, and there they go.
And
awesome.
To your point, Coach, that is awesome, and there they go. As you see, the new 2025 MIAA B Conference champion, the Sabres of St. Peter and Paul, as they, to your point, create a dog pile in the middle of the field to celebrate a championship that has eluded them for a number of years.
Hats off to the Sabres. They came out, they started fast, they got the lead, almost relinquished it in the third quarter, but big fourth quarter. Face-offs were a big part of this, and also, just the fact that, I think these guys remember last year, they were kind of embarrassed in this game. They came out ready to play.
Yeah, and don't forget, as Chris Gunkel pointed out, a big turn in this game was when the Saints, Peter and Paul, went zone defense.
I think you're spot on, Coach. The zone defense and then their ability to start getting face-offs and tough ground balls to create more possessions really turned this game in their favor. They were down. It looked like they were out of it at the beginning of the third quarter as Curley had taken the lead, but they showed their resilience to claw back into this thing and pull away and win the B Conference title 11-9.
Well, The two best teams in the B Conference survived into the championship. Curley won the regular season. St. Peter and Paul, who got all their kids healthy, as Coach Walters told us before this game's first time all year, that they've had the entire team healthy, and it showed for them today.
And hats off also to Archbishop Curley. You know, they're a tremendous team. They're well coached. They're dedicated to the system. And, you know, they gave it everything they had. But tonight it was all about St. Peter and Paul. They came to play. They made plays when they had to. Their goalkeeper, Hank Walters, had a really nice game. And, you know, this is something they wanted. They worked hard for. And tonight it came to be.
Well, I think it's difficult anytime, in particular in this conference, to beat the same team twice. Curley had won the matchup during the year, comes into this game. St. Peter and Paul, to your point, Coach, had all of their players, made the necessary adjustments, but again, showed a lot of resiliency during the adversity to pull away when it was needed most.
Chris Ogle and Coach Todd Walters there getting together.
I think it's important to note, Coach Zim, Coach Ogle on the left in the white shirt, he played for you at one time at UMBC.
He did. He graduated in 2001. Coach Ogle was a midfielder and an attackman from Fallston High School. Very smart player, dedicated, and it makes me proud to see that he has then taken the things he learned in high school at Fallston and in college at UMBC, and he's brought those to his program at Archbishop Curley.
Yeah, you see the award ceremony getting ready to happen as you have four players from St. Peter's and Paul that are going to accept the trophy from who, Coach?
Well, we have Paul Bernsdorf looking up at the camera now, the commissioner of the MIAA, and next to him is Severn Athletic Director Julian Dominic. And one of the things the MIAA does is every sport is basically administered by an athletic director. Julian Dominic is the Severn Athletic Director, but his responsibility to the MIAA is for lacrosse, A, B, and C lacrosse. And he's been at it now, I know, well over 10 years, probably closer to 15, and he's really done a wonderful job.
And then there you see something that players will remember forever as they take that trophy to the rest of their teammates and celebrate together as, once again, second seed St. Peter and Paul comes out on top by a score of 11-9 over Archbishop Curley.
You said it. They will remember this for a long, long time. And that's the great thing about sports. You know, both teams, it was a clean game. There were some penalties, but a lot of respect between these two coaches and their programs. And, you know, both institutions should be very, very proud of how they were represented tonight.
Well, that's the way this one's going to end. Please stay with us as we get ready for the A Conference title, as you're going to have the Cardinals of Calvert Hall, the lower seed, coming into this against the Cavaliers of Archbishop Spalding. Guys, what can we expect from that one?
Well, we'll talk about it more before the game, but this is going to be a really, really, really good contest against two of the top four teams in the United States, Calvert Hall and Spalding.
The founder and CEO of O2 Sports Insurance. We're proud to once again be partnering with the MIAA Championship Series, where passion, perseverance, and peak performance take center stage. These events aren't just about winning. They're about the spirit of competition, the strength of teams, and the heart of every athlete who gives it their all. At O2 Sports Insurance, we stand with teams and organizations on and off the field because your commitment inspires everything we do. Let's celebrate the incredible talent, sportsmanship, and drive on display. Get ready for an unforgettable series ahead.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is volume Or just pump up a pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.